Hey guys, Carl Spriggs here. Welcome to Decide Your Destiny Daily Dose number 10. We've got Bas Tadros to my right. How you going, Bas?
Good, Carl. How you going?
Good. Thanks, mate. And today I just wanted to discuss deciding to have better conversations. I think it's a really important topic of discussion.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll go first and I'll
Sure.
ask you some questions. But for me, I guess this inspiration came about the other night. I was out with a couple of friends, and, you know, one of the friends said they were they went into some of their thoughts and some of their theories and some of their beliefs, and I said, go deeper, let's learn a little bit more. And they kind of blocked it, and they said, I don't want to go any deeper because I'm concerned. I said, what do you mean? He said, the culture of today is so polarized, and it's so judgmental, and you can't really have those conversations with people. So I think that's one of the big concerns. And I said, mate, where's this come from? And he said, on Facebook, there's this whole thing about don't follow me if you believe.
Yeah.
Blank. So I think that was, when I heard about that, I went, whoa.
It's almost like an unfriend fashion.
Yeah, and I was like, well, that's a bit intense. Don't follow me if you believe, because I thought, well, what happens if you believe one thing one day, and then your
change
belief
your mind
changes the
tomorrow?
next?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I just went, God, that kind of took me by surprise, it shouldn't take me by surprise, but I just thought it was pretty concerning. And you see this person who's outside socializing, and can't even do what he's supposed to be doing when he's socializing, can't even communicate.
Yeah.
And I just thought it's an important thing for us to focus on having better conversations. Even if you have opposite beliefs of the person you're talking to,
Sure.
polarizing beliefs, having a debate, that's healthy. We started out having conversations around a campfire.
Yeah.
Conversations are a part of us, and we can't deny that just because there's a difference in opinion. I would rather know your differences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so, Kyle, I guess to help answer this question, I'm going to start off by asking a question, and I'll tell you why I do that.
Yes.
The first thing I want to ask you is, how do you think we've gained any form of information or any form of knowledge? Isn't it through another person?
Communication, yeah.
Exactly. And so anything that you, whether it's Kyle or your audience, our audience,
Yes.
Can challenge yourself on right now in this moment and just ask, anything had to have come from someone else.
Yes.
Or somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that someone else or somewhere else was what formed your opinions, your versions of perceptions of whatever it is that you're creating.
Yes.
Now, the truth is, when you start to face that reality, we need human interactions and connections.
Yes.
And communication, good quality communication, in order to form better information and then be able to articulate and express ourselves. So one of the things that I teach people, and I've done it in relationship courses with couples that love each other but are having communication breakdowns which are affecting their loving relationship, to parents with their children, to my own wife and children. I've got a 5-year-old son who's an absolute champion.
Yeah.
And I say to him often, if you want to be a great communicator, utilize the advancement of technology and evolution that humanity has given us and universe has given us. 2 ears to 1 mouth. It's a ratio of 2 to 1.
Yes.
So listen twice as much.
Ratio that's often forgotten.
Exactly.
Yes. I mean, we all forget it.
Right.
We all forget it. Yeah.
And it's fine. So when we start to apply the idea or the principle of listening twice as much as we speak, suddenly we become really good listeners. And it's not just about listening, it's about hearing.
Yes, exactly.
So you listen and you hear what the other person's message is.
And try to understand their perspective, try to understand where they're coming from.
And that's key.
Yeah.
And how do you understand? You ask questions.
Yes.
So I think the culture that's happening right now with social media, unfortunately, it's notorious for unfriending, and it's creating a low tolerance for better communication, better understanding. And what I call communication, where you're learning to communicate, is meta communications, talking about talking.
Yes, yes.
So that's the best way to communicate. If you have someone that you love and you don't have a great conversation with often, try and ask them, how can I better understand you? How can we better communicate? And often what happens in breakdowns in communication that lead to this disinterest or disengagement is the assumption. Because there is a saying that the trouble with most communication is the assumption that it's been done.
Yes, exactly.
So
yeah,
that's my thoughts on it. I'm trying to keep it very simple for your viewers today.
Yes, yeah, no, I appreciate that. I appreciate the insight. I think, if anything positive can come out of it, is that we just need to have better communications, deeper communications, understand each other a bit better. If you're going to shout at people, if you're going to, disengage from them, or if you're going to neglect them, look what happens with a baby. What do you do with a baby? You have to have contact. You have to have connection with that baby.
Eye contact helps.
Yeah, exactly. If you neglect that baby, what happens to that baby? So, not trying to neglect each other, rather trying to be compassionate, understand each other. I think that's the way forward.
Looking at every interaction and every communication as a new baby that you're building up and establishing. That makes sense. It's a nice metaphor for harnessing, nurturing relationships rather than disengaging and the unfriend culture, which is wrong. And I think quite often in social media, people are talking at each other.
Yes.
Not to each other.
Yeah, that's a big one. Talking at you. And not listening. But anyway, guys, I hope you took away a lot from that video and you're able to go out into your day, kind of approach it a bit better, and a little bit more deflated in those people that might have opposite opinions and views of you. I mean, I've met people that have all sorts of different views. I would have thought because of this line of views they would have had that view, but they don't. They've got a totally different view, and they surprise me. So have those conversations. Be insightful, be curious. That's what we were born to be as kids. We're always curious, always wanting to learn. Continue to be curious. Don't let this polarization that's going along, this unfollow trend, stop you from being curious. I mean, what is life without curiosity?
Yeah, even build the ability to be compassionate of other people's views.
Yeah.
Which is what listening and hearing make sense with.
Yeah.
In fact, if you want me to expand on that just quickly,
there's
always some gold that comes in right at the end.
Yes, yeah.
Nelson Mandela was the leader that he is because he was the son of a tribal leader.
Yes.
And the tribal leader, his father, would go into all the meetings with other leaders and sit down and be the last to speak. And when he was asked why he was last to speak, it was because he wanted to understand and listen to everyone's views first.
Exactly.
And then it helps him form an informed decision.
Yeah.
So quite often people are first to speak because they just want to get whatever they think they know out.
Yeah.
And that's where it's talking at someone. It could be from excitement or being zealous to share.
Yes.
But let's reverse that to be zealous to listen.
Yeah, and ask questions.
Yes, absolutely.
You ask questions,
Compassionately.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Thanks for that. Thanks, Bass. Appreciate having you along.
Pleasure.
And thanks, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. And the action for this week is just to go out and have more conversations and really be attentive and aware of those conversations. Awesome. All the best, and I'll catch you later.